Okay, so today we have Morrissey and Amazona. Now, of course, this is a cover of the original by Roxy Music. I've never heard the original, but this was a single from Morrissey. This was his third one off of Make Up As a Lie. I did say the third one was Monsters of Pig Alley last week, but that was the fourth one. This one is the third one. So anyway, we're going to get into it. I mean, he put it out as a single. I'm surprised he put a cover out as a single, but either way, now I'm even more intrigued. And again, never heard the original, but what the hey? Let's get into this, talk about it after. Here we go. Oh, the phone.
Amazona is a zone where there is no doubt, no more fallout. Why don't you step through the mirror and see? From Arizona to El Dorado, sure is such a long way. Hey, little girl, is something wrong? I know it's hard for you to get along. The bell tower rings, it tolls a hollow sound, but your castles in Spain still may be realized, and longings more profound. You see, every cloud, it has a silver lining, and sometimes paradise around your corner lies. In Amazona, everything is nice. Little one, come take my hand, I'll try to help you there, I'll take you there.
Why does that sound familiar?
Amazona, getting closer. Oh, soon, soon you'll see. Journey's over, we're almost there.
There it is. There we're there, I guess, at the end. Holy moly! So Morrissey and Amazona. So like I said at the get-go, I've never heard the original. I feel like I should hear the original, but So I don't know how to, compare. But at the same time here, what I do know from what I have seen is that the original has a great guitar solo. And even when he did the guitar solo of the original, I can't remember his name now, my God, but I know Brian Ferry is, of course, part of Roxy Music. But when they did the guitar part there, even the band clapped for the guitarist because it was done so well. So I coming into this, I had high expectations, I guess, just from seeing that. And here, I mean, this is just it's a wailing track. It's dramatic. And I feel like Makeup Is a Lie here has had a lot of dramatic tracks. I mean, my goodness gracious, but very dramatic. And from the get-go, the playful guitar part, the tone, and like I said, when it came back in after the guitar part and after the screeching and all that happened, and that first kind of intro guitar came back in there near the end, I said, why does that sound familiar? And I don't know. I can't think of this. It's Tom Petty. Like, is it a Tom Petty song I'm thinking of, or like a Traveling Wilburys song I'm thinking of? I don't know, but just that tone and that intro, I was just like, what is that? It reminds me of something. So that helps. Anyway, that's very helpful. But like I said, something Tom Petty or Traveling Wilburys or something along those lines. It almost had a twang to it. And anyway, I was just like, what the fuck? But yeah, so that caught me right out the get-go, and I was like, ooh, I like that. Like I said, playful. It was just very nice, a very warm guitar feel there, at least for the intro. And then, like I said, there was a shift, and I've seen some people say they don't like the shifts. They call it grinding, and a song can be called grinding, but in, I guess, a positive way. But here, I feel like people are saying it in a negative way. But and again, that it was not. And another thing I've seen from people is that it doesn't feel as experimental as the original, which again I can't really talk on because I have not heard the original. If my third time saying that, I think, but. For me, anyway, it had that wailing sound and that Morrissey kind of eeriness around it as well. But at the same point, when he goes in and he has kind of a bouncy vocal. I mean, it's just Amazona, and he's playing very well along with the guitar work. And it wasn't really until I want to say the second half, if I remember correctly already, until that screeching guitar work came in, and like I said, it became a bit more haunting, became a bit more eerie, and either way, I really enjoyed that haunting feel. No matter people say it's not as experimental or whatever, it's still very artistic. It's still very cold in a way, and I just love how it goes from kind of a warmth to a coldness, and all the same 4 minutes and 12 seconds. So either way, I really enjoyed that. And so yeah, the electric guitar here was obviously very prominent. It was very vital to the sound, and it almost, in a way, and then maybe it's only because I've been listening to it so much lately. Jack the Ripper, the live version of Boz Borer's guitar work on that track. Again, the live version, and how screeching that is. It gave me for a second. I mean, it does not sound the same at all, but there was that kind of a screech to it. There was that kind of a hauntingness to it, a little bit. Again, I'm not comparing both tracks there, but either way, that's what came to my head for a second. And but still, kept you on your toes, and that was the whole point. And I feel like Amazona, and I love that when you search the song up, just searching up Amazona and what that is. Of course, Amazon is the only thing that comes up. But Amazona, I know, is kind of part of mythology. And I guess I should just look at it now because I don't want to get this wrong. But of course, Amazona is a group of female warriors from Greek mythology. Could be, all of this could be a reference to the Amazons and the group of female warriors from Greek mythology. Said to match men in skill, agility, and strength. And so there you go there. And I feel, again, we're talking about here, Amazona, we're talking about some kind of relationship, some kind of woman, of course, yeah. And just going away to the Amazons here. And obviously a love interest is a big part of this track. And to hear Morrissey talk about that is sounds very nice. And again, he sounds melodic, he sounds warm, and I just love this. I like the shifts in it anyway. But again, I guess some people weren't fans. But I always go on about that. Some people don't like it, some people do. But I feel like you get that in every song, no matter who it's by. But yeah, so I just still kept me on my toes, was unpredictable, and the intro just caught me off guard. And even you probably saw it on my face when it first came in. I was like, what the fuck? What is that sound, and why does it remind me of something? But either way, there you go there. So, I want to talk about the personnel, but now the page is gone, so hold on. So this is the auto-generated personnel by YouTube, so hopefully this is right, but I want to get into this. So, drums, Brendan Buckley, I know he's right, because he's on all of this album anyway. And again, his sound, I mean, I talk about Matt. Now I can't remember Matt Walker. My goodness gracious, and how thunderous he is. But Brendan Buckley. I mean, that transition from Matt to Brendan has been pretty good. I mean, it doesn't sound too much different for me. On the keyboards, Camilla Gray. On solo guitar here, I guess I would say this is the solo performance of the track. Is Carmen Vandenberg. And last week I talked about how I did not know who she was, and somebody yelled at me. And I apologize, but I didn't know who she was, and I've only, I know of guys like Jesse Tobias and Boz Borer and all these things, and but of course Carmen. I mean, she's come in here, and apparently she's done work with Morrissey for a couple of years now at least, and I really enjoyed her sound here. I mean, my goodness gracious, as it says here, solo guitar. So again, I'm guessing she was doing the solo part there that was very eerie and scratchy and all that, and just kind of uneasy. The electric guitar here, also Carmen Vandenberg, would you believe that? And then you got on acoustic guitar, Jesse Tobias, and also electric guitar, Jesse Tobias, and then that's all there. Bass, Juan Galino, I want to say Galino. I apologize, but on lead vocals, would you believe it? It's Morrissey, and producer Joe Ciccarelli, I do believe. And I just want to say on the production here, like I said, very ambitious. I thought this was an ambitious. I can't talk. This was an ambitious track, and to take a 1973 Roxy Music song and make it a single in 2026. I mean, yeah, it's different, and yeah, but either way, I enjoyed the sound of it. Good God. So we're going to get into these lyrics now. And like I said, for a lot of Morrissey tracks, I feel like he might change up at least some words in when he does a cover. So I don't know if he did that much here or not, but we're going to get into these lyrics either way. And like I said, it's all about, the Amazons, Greek mythology, all that comes to mind, and women. My goodness gracious. So, where the first verse, Amazona, is a zone where, I guess it would be a zone, it's in the title. There is no doubt, no more fallout. I mean, it sounds like a nice little place. There's no doubt, no more fallout. It sounds positive. Got the bridge. Why don't you step through the mirror and see? I mean, I'm thinking about looking, I can't think of it. Going through the looking glass, Alice in Wonderland comes by, and once I finally spit it all out, look through the mirror and see. And again, Morrissey, being a bit coy, being a bit, saying these things in a questionable way or whatever, talking about, why don't you look through the mirror and see, he's being a bit facetious or something like that. Anyway, you got the second verse, from Arizona to El Dorado. And I mean, I feel like in a song called Amazona, you got to mention Arizona because it just rhymes well. Sure is a mighty long way. And I do believe Morrissey said that in a different way. He didn't say mighty. He said a different word. But either way, as we move into the third verse, we talk about a little girl here. And like I already mentioned, the Greek mythology and, Amazona and all these things, and women and all that come to mind. But so it's not surprising that he says, hey, little girl, at this point. Is something wrong? I know it's hard for you to get along. The bell tower rings. It tolls a hollow sound. Again, the detail here, the lyrics, but your castle's in Spain. And the references here to different places. I mean, we're all over the map. Spain, El Dorado, Arizona, Amazona. Holy moly. And again, I think about Alice in Wonderland. I think about all those things. This just keeps coming back to me. I think about Hey Little Girl almost in a way of the Doors song, because this has a psychedelic feel to me anyway, at least in the words, I would say. And it was written back in 73, so it kind of makes sense there. But I think of the Doors track, Your Lost Little Girl, that comes by for a second. And again, this girl does seem to be lost. He wants to take her to Amazona. Anyway, and she seems to be having a hard time. And longing's more profound. You see, every cloud has a silver lining. That's pretty easily explainable there. And sometimes paradise around your corner lies. Again, even though things might seem bad to you or everything might suck, just around that corner is a beautiful place. And it seems like when you close your eyes and envision your happy place, you should be envisioning Amazona, because that just seems to be a beautiful freaking place. Holy moly, full of just butterflies and rainbows and all those things. Either way, in Amazona, everything is nice. There you go. Little one, come take my hand. I'll try to help you there. I'll take you there. I mean, almost a Peter Pan in a way here. Just take my hand. I mean, my God, windy. Then you got the guitar solo. And then the fourth verse, Amazona's getting closer. Oh, soon you'll see. Journey's over. We're almost there. And I mean, like I said, pretty explainable there. We're almost there, and then the song ends. And as the song ends, maybe they do get there. But yeah, I really enjoyed the imagery here with the lyrics. I thought Morrissey did a good job here. I thought, again, his warmth and his voice added to the feel of it. I loved, again, how bouncy he kind of felt. And I say bouncy, but I don't know. He just seems to be having fun with it. He seemed that he enjoyed the song. And like I always say, he seems to pick and choose the songs he covers, because I feel like he could just cover, I guess, Roxy Music's most known track or whatever, or any musician's most known track, as long as he gets the, as long as he's allowed to or whatever. But he goes out of his way to kind of cover songs that mean something to him, and maybe not everyone knows it, but he does it anyway, and because he has a feel for it, and I thought he had a feel for it here. So there you go, Bear. So thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, all those things. Again, new camera here. We'll see if I change anything up, but I guess it looks all right. Just, the settings are different and I had to change some stuff, but we got through it. We listened to another Morrissey song here, and next week we'll just be into the album. I've done all the singles, I do believe, now, so there you go there. So thanks for everything. Thanks for all the support as a big card goes by. I'll talk to you guys again soon.